I'll be on mic in just a couple of moments here, guys. So let's just make sure that we have all of our levels. If you guys have my chart, then at least you should have some idea of this break. And we've had this trend line in. It's been retested on numerous occasions, and then it took the 6:30 New York uh, break, the money flow break, and so it's just a matter of where on the chart might it land. It's struggling to hold on to the 6,900, which is this. Let me get onto my chart so you can see my cursor run, and then I'll be moving the chat over, doing a pop out of the chat too, if you guys wanted to speak with me. All right, so this is the 60-minute, of course. You have to look at the 60-minute for first, and then we'll move in a little bit here so that you can actually see how this break actually happened. But we're looking at this particular swing right here, high to low, and the 6,973. The fact that the 243 broke, this does happen, but then you have to go to the left side of your chart to see where there are support levels. Not crazy about this pullback. It's severe. If you watch my Twitter, you'll notice that I said it would be swift, whatever, especially if this trend line broke. One reason is that the trend line is in part created from this epic volatility on the SegWit suspension announcement. So we know that there's a lot of strength and volatility in this. Is a great trend line to have kept a good eye on. So, but if you watch my Twitter and you were getting those close-ups, then you would have known that things were starting to look a little shaky, and whatever was going to happen, even if it had been attacked to the upside, that New York would take the opportunity and go ahead and get money to come into the market. But as it would be, Ruby Short is holding up. For those that have taken the short, congratulations. I don't know if it's over yet. We have to still see a couple of things come in, trading at 68.85.27 on the session, down 3.78 on the Bitcoin USD 60-minute Coinbase chart, and then we'll zoom in just a moment as soon as I get my chat popped out. Hope that helps everybody. And you'll see me fuddle around to try and get the YouTube feed, so pardon me on that. All right, so let's get moved in a little bit here. Okie dokes. All right, so the levels that we have is the 6,973 line. We know that the 243 line was broken, which is about 723.25. So your next would be the 69.73. That's 6,973. Go to the left of that. This area here, it's sad to see that that broken, this uh, tweezer bottom here. And then 67.69, 67.69.74 would be the worst of it, unless we need to start really looking at other minute ledges. So let's zoom on in, take a snapshot if you'd like. I don't change these Fibonacci swings until they become irrelevant over time, unless there's something really significant in there. But usually what will happen is that whatever happened with these rises will actually kind of overlap on the newer ones, or the swings, pardon me. So no doubt all of these numbers, 78.98 will return, and all the numbers that are encompassed in the volatility here will come back as well. Okay, so let's zoom on in. So here's your hour. Take a look at the 30 minutes that you guys know what happened in the 60. And remember, with Ruby, all of the EMAs are fixed to the 60. So it lets us actually get in to see. Really, the 243 in the 30-minute didn't stand a chance. Look at that. We'll probably get a little heads up in the 15. And so we'll go in there. Okay, so that's the 30-minute. And then the 15-minute. Ensure we got the snag here, right at the break of the trend line. And once again, it just went right through, just completely slammed through the 243. Let's make sure that you guys can hear me just fine, I think. I hope so anyway. I'll get back to the chat in just a moment. And then, of course, we can move in just to see the health of the down move. Is there anything in here that can tell us that things have slowed down? And we do. We have a little doji pin right here that basically is saying, hey, listen, there's some longs that want to come in and take a little bit of a risk and slow this thing down. And so they're coming in, and can't say that they're piling in or anything like that, but they did recognize that there was a great low, very swift pullback. They dojied out here, which is just a pause in the market. People are trying to figure out what they really should do. And the low here was 68.50.25. They took a 5-minute pause to readjust themselves, and then some longs are getting in right now. So depending on what my chat wants to do, I can stay focused on the 5, or we can even go into the 1 minute if you guys really want to see this thing come about. So I'll go through the timelines now, and then you guys can make the decision as to what time frame you'd like for me to focus on. There is the 3-minute. There's the 3-minute. So what happens is that the difference between these two candles created the 5-minute and the doji. And so it was actually the third candle that came in that was the power move, where they thought, well, we think maybe this is a good time. So the 3-minute players are coming in, and we'll go to the 1 minute before, but maybe there's the 1 minute. So we get the sale doji that's in. So there was one last hurrah that pushed the price down, and nobody wanted to take it any further. No one wanted to take on the risk, and then the buyers come in. There's the shorts are doing a little bit of covering here, and then the longs are coming in to own it. So let's open up the chat to see what you guys want to do. And where's the pop-out chat? Okay. I didn't do OBS today because the moment that I opened it up, my fan went on. And that's just, so here we're coming in, there's a rejection. So we get the 4-way dojis, and then there's a little bit of a rejection here coming in. Okay, so we'll go ahead and keep it on 1 minute. Alrighty. Let's see, it's 6:45. So I would expect that we will be together probably. I mean, I'll try and extend my time this morning. I can't say how long I'll be on, but definitely want to see how this is going to resolve itself. I can't imagine that it's just going to stall out on a Friday after this particular week. And so much more information came out about the CME. And so this particular morning might be a good morning to just kind of let the chart just run and flow and um, contribute to the commentary, have it be in the can and that sort of thing. So I appreciate you guys stopping by for sure. It adds to the viewer count, and so it's helpful. And you'll notice that I'll move back and forth between the time frames, but just so that you guys understand, the chart that you're looking at is called the Ruby, and I'm working on the Ruby Cross Bot. And what's clever about the way that the chart is coded is that um, the indicator is built on a 60-minute fixed. So I'm able to go into the 1 minute and do more of a kind of a microscopic view of what's happened as it relates to the 60-minute indicator. But for example, like right now, we're looking at the 1 minute bar. And this sort of approach can be extremely helpful when you have trend line breaks and when you're watching for price to hold certain EMAs, or you're counting ledge structure and that sort of thing. So that's why you're looking at maybe a chart that you've not ever seen before. Um, and if I had my OBS up, um, we could look at some more kind of data points on how the Ruby works. But right now we're just more connected with price literally breaking through a trend line that's been active over the last couple of days since the SegWit suspension. And finally, at at the right time, we decided that it would go ahead and break on on a Friday New York Open coming up. So I'm very interested in the sort of money flow coming in and out of Bitcoin as it meets up with significant hours of import to the legacy trades. So definitely we're going to continue to keep an eye on these things so that we can navigate our own trade uh, philosophy and approach, and when are we going to get into the trades and that sort of thing. So it's going to be a good time when we get this sort of data. So buyers are coming in a little bit. We are not getting lower lows, we are getting higher lows. And so for those that enjoy kind of trend lining and that sort of thing, I am not ready to do a Fibonacci on this swing. If I see a couple more things happening, we might be able to do a Fibonacci progressive, just to keep an eye on price and see how healthy price is. But right now, we do have a higher low. And if you guys want me to mark that off, I can. Let's see what the chat is saying. My chat says Flavius Tech. Hi, Flavius. And hi, Really. And IGG. Hi, welcome. Flavius writes, this volatility will persist until we reach gold value, total world market. Okay. Really writes, wishful thinking. This is to Flavius. Too much bond to BTC, the same fluctuation. Well, Flavius, the thing is, thank you very much for making your comment. I think what's interesting here is that we just don't know. Everything is so new. If you could suspend belief, in fact, one of my tips is that, remain curious and flexible. And there will be some sort of parity. There'll be either, there will be But if you want to put a chart in the chat or send me a chart over on Twitter, I'll take a look at it, and we can certainly discuss what your ideas are. Would be a good thing to do. And let me get a well, that's okay. Girth doesn't mean anything. If there's a comparison that you're seeing, then let's take a look at it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a trend line in so you guys can be kept amused. And we'll just go ahead and we'll just do a trend line like this sort of thing. Not to mentally drive the point home that we are going in an upward trajectory, because we really don't know. We're not yet ready to establish a resistance line, as you can see, not quite yet. But if you wanted to, in fact, we'll move the chart over. But if you wanted to and you thought, well, that looks like maybe that might be the end of that run, and then we can run a resistance line right there. Let's have a few more candles come out until we're at the top of the hour. I always want to keep an eye on the time. We have a few more minutes until it is 7 p.m. on the eastern side of the United States. I could make this a little cleaner. So what we want to do is, in order to keep our higher lows intact, we do not want it to go below the arrow, because then we would be getting double bottom, and we can accept that. Okay, you could accept that interim or near term, or it would return to the doji, and that's where it gets a little bit more dangerous, that the shorts could decide to take the day. We're trading at 6909.92, down 3.43% on the session. 3910.03, down 3.43% on the session. Okay, let's see what else we have. And I'll run through 3 other charts, I guess, the 4 top charts. We will go through, of course, this is the BTC USD Coinbase pair. Type this out. And then I will do the LTC USD Coinbase pair. I'll do that one in just a moment. I will do an ETH pair. And I will do an ETC pair. Okay, so we did get a break, as you can see. So on trend, we did break on trend. Now we're in the 1 minute, so you come back and we don't want to look at these minutes, but it will happen in the larger time frames too. That's why we take advantage of when we get a move like this, that because there's enough volatility and it keeps the conversation active as well. But this can also happen in 4 hour, in the daily chart, in the monthly chart. So we have another attempt, and we have a tweezer bottom. Another attempt and tweezer bottom. Let's see if this is enough to hold the move to recover. We will see. And I lost my chat, darn it. All right. Yeah, I lost my pop-up chat, so now I have to go back. Okay. Once again, the trend line's getting attacked. We have another. It's just going to play raw here. Flavius writes, $7.5 trillion in gold reserve in the entire world at this moment, and Bitcoin is somewhere around 200 billions of dollars. I think I'll do the ray tool as well, so we don't get confused with this arrow tool here. Go ahead and X out of this, and we'll put the ray tool in. And we could perfect this a little bit, but you can see it's a better way of doing it. And then the break, get a timer on the break. And let's a couple more candles and we'll go ahead and do a progressive fib in here. Let's see. It really does want to stay depressed down here. And it could thread and really just drive people crazy all the way up to New York Open. So I'm not going to say that a lot of people decided to come in and grab the opportunity down here. It shouldn't have caught anyone off guard, though. So here we have a candle, bear candle underneath the trend. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Appreciate it. I have no idea how you found me, but I appreciate it. And make sure that you use the chat because it's the only way that I can communicate with you. All right, so let's widen the chart out just a little bit. If everyone kind of understands, they probably have their own charts that are up on the 1 minute. So let's go ahead and take another look at things from a wider view, and then we'll go ahead and look at a couple of other pairs. All right, so we'll go and get a fix on things because it is 7 o'clock now on the East Coast. And let me move this all over. The reason that you see that vertical line there is because we have that 1 minute trend, so don't be put off by that too much. So here's the 60. And we knew that the 67, 69, that was the real threat. If it was to go lower than that, then we would be in some sort of a panic. This was a prior swing. I'm not crazy about that it broke this tweezer bottom, this price point here, which was the 70.20. But of course that gets me very confident about the 243. The 243 being broken, this leaves a lot of fear. And because it can only rely on the pullbacks to the left-hand side. So the 6900, 73 line that you see here, this is another Fibonacci swing so that I can calibrate where price is when it's moving to the upside or to the downside, or not recovering past the 50-yard line or the 50% Fibonacci. So this particular one, for example, the moment that the 96 started to roll over, remember we were in a Ruby short, right, because of the cross. But we had this very strong trend line, and as the trend line kept on getting attacked, eventually it took the moment in time. I do believe it took advantage of the New York money flow coming in at 6:30 and decided that it would go ahead and get out and maybe readjust where it really does want to be involved. Price points above 7,000, that's, it's a big deal. And so it's kind of natural for people to put, their orders in to take profit. And so that's what might have happened. I don't have my Twitter up or my TweetDeck up right now to follow any news because we're really just focused in on what price is giving to us. So, but we'll get the TweetDeck up in just a couple moments. Okay, so that's the 60-minute, right? I'll move into the 30-minute. And you can see maybe the levels a little bit more harsh, and we might want to build another fib swing, especially if this hits a double bottom from the left side of the chart. So, and we're just not there yet, unfortunately. We'll take a look at the 15-minute, so we can see that our trend line was clearly broken and get a better view. Usually you'll see my charts will be on the 15-minute. Here's the Ruby cross break, and it might be the right time. We'll go ahead and so we can at least get the fib drawn from the break now, okay, from the break. I will adjust this as time goes on, but pardon about that. And it's a Ruby cross short, so we take it from the high to the low, and I move the Fibonacci over. And let's just see. Okay, so the 618, if this had been a progressive Fibonacci, the 618 actually did converge or connect with the trend line and the time. So it just doesn't have a whole lot that it can hold on to. It just rammed right through the 50%, the 382, and we'll go a little closer to see if we can get a catch on the 5-minute. Looks like another candle is printing more down to the lower side. And once again, we'll keep a Fibonacci on it. And then we'll go in a little closer to the 3-minute. And I don't think we really need this anymore because that was just an interim trend. It's been broken. And so that we don't get that haze, let me move the Fibonacci over to the left so you guys can see. We'll just keep it over to the left here so that we have a clean view of the candles. We're trading at 6802.86, 6804.03.99, down 4.92%, racing towards 5% at 7 o'clock, 7:06 on the eastern side of the US. All right. Let's see. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but my chart is running a little slow. Go to the 1 minute. Let's see if we can hold on here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my Twitter. So we got a nice recovery. So I don't know if you noticed that or not, but I had said that I didn't really feel right about doing the fib earlier. And then, of course, as that low was coming in, it looked right to do the fib. I can't explain how I come about doing that. We could just say, well, it's just experience. But sometimes things feel as though, okay, it's the right time to get another read in there to see, what the health of it is. And then, of course, the moment that there's certain things that you could see in the Fibonacci that were keying up with my EMAs, and then definitely want to keep an eye on the Fibonacci. Then now it's a matter of whether or not that is the low, okay? And of course, everyone would like to know, right? Everyone would love to know where is the high and where is the low. I mean, that's the holy grail for any trader. Also, candle counting and that sort of thing, how long this could last. So for example, what we'd like to have is at 6801.02, and we could get in there and be a little bit more perfect about it. 6801.26 is at the actual low. 6801.26 is that bar. 6801. Okay, so I'm 2 cents off here, but let me go ahead and make it better. 68, what was it again? It was 6801. Okay. I'll just come into here and perfect, and then I'll do the upper bar in a little bit. It'll just be a few cents off, so it won't mean much until we get closer up. So let's take a look at the patterns then, if you guys are interested in patterns. And let's see here. I'll go back to my Hangout. And then we check the pop-out chat. And let's see what we've got. If we've found the bottom, that would be good. All right, hi everybody. Flavius, Metamizol man, hi there. Found you by typing in Bitcoin and view results by okay. So they are giving me a little bit of feature. I was talking about this on another episode. I did the same Bitcoin. You did. That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you so much, because really, and I talk about this often, are we not being featured, And so thanks a lot for letting me know. If a country like the U.S., Flavius writes this, if a country like U.S. approved the Bitcoin as a currency, I think price will be tripled. If they accept as a commodity, it will be a shorter price increase. Okay, that's very smart. All right, so it looks like we're in a candle count situation here. And yes, I do. You can go back in my history. Many times I understand that news takes about 9 minutes, and I've noticed that a 9 count bar many times will play out. So on the 1 minute, let's see if we can get 9 counts to the upside, which we'll speak of whether or not price wants to, and I'll go into the actual pattern of what's happening here and seeing if price can eclipse a price and then continue to go further. Flavia says, why you need some improvement to use it? Be happy it is not prohibited. Well, I agree. All right, so what this is, guys, is that this is, and we're just, let's suspend belief for a couple minutes so I can just kind of tell the story, okay? This is an atom left, It's off of a break of a trend. It's an atom left, okay? This is the middle or the apex. This is the right shoulder. And what is happening now is that the follow through must go over the apex. It must go over this line thereabouts. I'm not going to perfect that line. It must. You can see that it did. It tried to double top, okay, fell back, and now it has to go beyond 69.4630 if it is going to achieve price recovery. Okay, so this is an atom left. You'll notice from the break, there's the left, there's the middle of the W, that's the apex, there's the right side of the W, right, and then this is the follow through right. Okay, and it doesn't look as though it is ready yet. And this could be a fractal pullback, which is, it's a rest and retest. So it's resting right now, getting geared and up and ready to retest. If it retests, it can actually start to power through and then just go ahead. And then in that case, we caught the low at 68.01. Okay. So if you like that price 68.01 on a structure basis or a pattern basis, that would be looked at as being a low. But we just don't have enough information yet. Does that help everybody? I don't know if it does or not. Okay, so Really and Flavius, and they started doing this in other countries like mine. It's just, we were being so peaceful, right? We were just minding our own business. Oh man, just be open, guys. Be open and really document. You know, you're in a very unique situation, is that you can start to document your ideas and what your observations are of seeing new money, whether it's classified as a security or a commodity. Let's say that it is a currency and you are looking at a new money be fought for, developed and fought for and integrated and adopted. And I mean, start a blog or start a journal of your own and gather more information, because you will be in 5 years, you will be the educated persons about how this all went down, and kind of the truth sayers. Bitcoin has dropped Scander, so we don't know yet if it's going to take a further drop below 68.01. We just don't know yet. Okay, so let me clean up that break potential. And thanks for everybody stopping by. I think what's happening too with my charts is that TradingView is probably overloaded a little bit as well. So my charts aren't working. All right, so let's see what this high was here. 69.47.45, 69.47.45. 69.47, I was only off for a few cents, 45. There we go. So that's been positioned in the right place. So that's being looked at as a fractal move. And we're going to go back up again. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so we'll just keep things going. I'm going to put myself on mute for just a couple of minutes so that I can get some things going on my side here. And so just keep the chat. I'll keep the pop out of the chat. And thank you. Okie doke, so move away from the TweetDeck and come back over to the chart. And now all we have is dust right here. So after the break, the apex, right? The left shoulder here, the apex, the right, the low, and now things are just resting. We'll see whether or not there can be some more energy come back in. And clearly we're on a coffee break right now. And if I go back over to my TweetDeck, it usually gets a little clumsy. Okay, so does everyone get kind of what the formation that we're in? And we'll go ahead and keep it in the 1 minute just in case. Alrighty. So if you hear me just kind of coming in and out, the reason is that I'm working too, okay? Okay, so it does look like coffee break is over and that we are going to take another attempt at the line that was drawn based on the pattern that was put in. And so we'll keep this line here until you see some reaction there. If there is no reaction, then maybe there's another way of keeping this trade in, um, trying to get some decision making here. Anyone that was in the 6801 long, they're asking themselves some questions if they made a good decision or not. I wouldn't doubt that we'll be hearing some people that will go ahead and they're going to profit take if this does not go beyond. You want to, what will happen is that if it does go over, that anyone that wants to get in, they'll go ahead and they'll get in. We'll get another power push up. The biggest resistance here, though, because we are still in a Ruby short, please remember that. It's still a Ruby short, even though that there are counter trends that are available off of the bottom now, that they will take advantage of the counter trade or counter trend trade and take it to the 243. And that's really where there are a lot of decisions will be made. Depends on what time of the day that's going to come in. And so we'll just stay live until get a little bit more information that comes in. I hope that that helps. Okay, so that ascending wedge that you saw me draw, it looks like it's resolution, and you can look up ascending wedge. Traditionally, an ascending wedge is a continuation pattern, so because it entered into the pattern to the downside, but the continuation pattern is, of course, to the downside. Many times this doesn't work with Bitcoin, but obviously you can see when I put it in that it did follow through to the downside. I'll be back on mute. Okay, 6801 incoming, 6801 incoming, trading at 6806.05, down 4.88%. 6801 incoming. 6800. 6801 has been broken. We're holding at 6800. 6800. See if it can hold. 6800. Give it a little bit of breathing room here. 6800. 6801 was the low. 6800 holding. Remember, we're on the 1 minute after an ascending wedge was broken. 6800 holding. Let's see if we can get a range. 6800 broken to the deep side. 6787, 6787 down 5.2%. 6784. The double bottom is now broken, so we're now looking for really serious lows here incoming. We'll work to the left of the chart to see if we can get another line. I'm not going to do progressive fibs until I see a very clear sense of the bottom. We had it hold for a little bit here, so there was some money made in the counter trend trade long, but clearly you can see that it's been full retracement. Broken 6801, trading at 6788.97. 6796, 6800 is given back. 6801, see if that can hold. And it did. So let's see what happens. So they like that price down there. Good enough. Good enough. Let's see where we're at then. On a hammer too. And the low was 6778. 6778.35. We'll take a note of that because that was a great low and a swing long. And the long is at 68.19. So that's a great pickup long right there. Okay. I'm not going to be changing. We'll come back to that number though. We'll see what happens now here. Put myself on mute again. I have no idea how long I've been on. It's now 7 minutes to the top of the hour. I'll let the stream go until the top of the hour, and then we'll be signing off. Okay, guys? Thank you. So if you recall, the 67, 69, 74, if you'll scroll back in the timeline of the event today, that was a real concern of mine. 67, 69, once that was broken, we really didn't have a whole lot of place. This is complete abyss now until we come way back down to the 6,400 areas. Maybe we can get some latch here from the prior long, but this is a incredible break of stride. We knew that this was a Ruby cross short. We've known this for a very long time. Congratulations to those that have stuck with it. Stay with the Ruby Cross bot as we build it out. If you want to see the bot built or you enjoy that sort of thing, when the event is done or in a prior, you can go to one of my prior YouTubes as well to get more information about what I plan on doing with Ruby. So enjoy the short as it is right now. We'll leave the feed open for another 5 minutes, and I hope that you guys are able to pick up on why so many lines? What do you need all that for? Well, it takes experience and development of just having a good chart in front of you. It doesn't have to be mine. It should be yours always. It should be your chart in front of you to guide you to make the best decisions for your bankroll. Okay? So that you understand why I'm even here and who you're talking to. This is Beauty Bubble. I've been a legacy trader for over 10 years now. Been in the Bitcoin scene since 2012 and built the Ruby Cross, which is the chart that you're looking at right now. And been basically in beta with her for a long, long time. And I'm now ready to build a bot. And it would just be a signaler of some sort, very kind of, just low tech in the very beginning. What I aim to do, and you can see why it would have been very powerful for you to not have only got the signal, but also be able to kind of know the voice of the concept and how to build your chart accordingly. So as the trade is at, let me get back over here. The trade at 67.60.01 and 67.69.74 was our danger low. And this particular Fibonacci swing has been perfected, meaning that each of the numbers is precise. There's some precision numbers that I have to do on this swing that went from actually the cross to now the low. So we'll probably go ahead and exit out of that until we do find a low. We were able to understand about the break potential and the ascending wedge on the 1 minute. So that gave you kind of an idea of how patterns work when you're able to locate them. And this is another thing. It takes a little bit of experience to locate a pattern. Not always crazy about channel lines and ascending wedges on cryptocurrency, but sometimes, especially in the 1 minute, they can be helpful for you to navigate the potential of a kind of explosive move, let's say. All right, so that's where we're at, and 67.38.60 now, down 5.87. So let's go ahead and move to the 30-minute so that you guys can see how this happened. That was our break potential line that we really needed. That W pattern is completely, it's out. It's been obliterated. So we'll probably go ahead and take that line off the chart until we can see some kind of recovery. And so you might see that line taken out because it's just not that important now. On the 15-minute, We can see that was all that area around here. We did get our tweezer tops, which speaks of a further downside activity. And this is all below the 243. And then we'll move into the 5-minute and go on a reboot there. And we'll see that we had a disjunction, right, between the 96 and the 51. And this would have been the tell that there was some serious downside incoming. And then, of course, once the 243 break. Let's see what else I can tell you. I'm running out of power too, guys. Did you see that? Nobody told me. You gotta tell me when I'm running out of power on my laptop. Okay. Okay, so pop out the chat. And it was really great spending a little bit of time with you. Good luck out there. My DMs are open over on Twitter. If you want to reach out to me, just go ahead and send me a note. You know, my notifications, they'll let me know over at Twitter, and it's just at Beauty Bubble. And thank you for stopping by, because every count matters to me, trying to reach the 10,000 lifetime views so that I can get back all the bells and whistles on my YouTube channel. It's a real struggle out there for any broadcasters, and so I just don't want to be left behind, and so I'm working a little bit harder to make sure that I'm relevant. But today it worked out really well, didn't it? All anybody had to do is look up the word Bitcoin and go last hour. And if I'm live, I'm live. And that really worked out really well today. But of course, recognizing that we were on, you know, pretty good move, that it helped. And Bitcoin Move, I think, was the name of it, right? I'll find out and see if that works. And then I'll fill out the description and that sort of thing. Because the chat has popped out, I will make a copy and paste of the chat. It will end up going into the comment section. So if any of you want to reach out to me in the comment section down below of this video or any other video when I go live, please feel free to do so. It's been a real pleasure. You've been listening to Beauty Bubble and the Beauty Bubble Experience on YouTube. Bye-bye now.